Hey, what's up? It's Edu here, and on this one, you are going to see a recording of a training that I did about a year ago now. At the time, we were doing around 150k, 160k per month with our client acquisition AI agency, and at the time of recording this one right now, we are doing about 250k per month and have been doing that, by the way, with the same agency, no other coaching, nothing like that, with the actual same AI agency, and we've been doing that now for the past 5-6 months in a row. And being in this game for over 5 years now, and over the next 2 years, our goal is to get to 1 million a month with the agency. And on this channel, I'm just kind of want to show you how we got here where we're right now. I want to show you the journey from here to 1 million a month, and then also share you every single playbook that I have in order to help you get here faster than I did. So that being said, it's valuable training for anyone who is under 150k per month, and even to some people who are at those numbers but want to make sure that you have a consistent machine. And there's a couple fundamentals that you need to understand in order to really build the right foundations and being able to scale up the business. So that being said, let's dive into the video and enjoy, take notes.
So when it comes to actually building an agency, there's really 3 things that you have to be nailing down and focusing on when it comes to actually growing the agency. So there is the acquisition, meaning how you get more leads, appointments, and closings, basically how you close clients and enroll new people, new clients to your agency. Then there is the LTV, lifetime value of a customer, and how you increase the LTV, how you decrease the churn rate, how you increase the AOV, meaning how much one client is paying to you. And then there's the team. These are really the things that when it comes to getting to this level that I would really focus on and dive into, so that you can do it fast and without burning yourself, pretty much. When it comes to the early stages, if you're right now somewhere 10k, 20k per month, I would really hone in on the acquisition as well as the LTV. LTV on that end, I'm gonna be diving into 3 things that I'm basically focusing on when it comes to LTV and where you should be focusing if you're at that level. Team, obviously, if you're at 10k, 20k, 30k per month, you can do it, and you can pretty much, depending on the niche and all that stuff, you can pretty much scale by yourself to 50k, 60k per month. But quite honestly, like, I would hire few team members to help you out with that stuff. Plus, to build an actual business, you need team, right? But on this video, we're gonna be diving into these 3 things, and also from a point of view where we at right now and what I feel like and see and know based off of what we have gone through and where we at right now in terms of what type of team you need at this level, as well as how to acquire clients, etc. So when it comes to the acquisition, obviously there is the parts of the marketing and then sales process. So in order for create an acquisition process, you need both. You need the marketing and the sales, and you need those 2 things be in alignment with each other, synced to each other in order for everything to work properly. And when it comes to the marketing, which here I'm dividing to appointment booking, what I focus on, depending on your cash reserves and all that stuff, I would find money to being able to run ads so that you can get appointments and acquire clients. Also, full transparency, me personally, I scale the business to 30k, 40k per month just based off of DMs, outbound DMs, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So it is possible. Again, times may have changed, so there are it's a slightly different process nowadays, but still it is possible to scale to 20k, 30k, 40k per month with just outbound DMs. But I would focus on getting some cash, getting clients in, and reinvesting that money into ads so that you can get more appointments, get better at sales, and close more clients, and that way starting to build a business. So ads, quite frankly, are one of the fastest ways, but it is not the magic pill. You actually need to know what you're doing, and you need to have a solid offer, and you need to know how to close clients in order to make the ads work. So that being said, one of the things that I wish I would have focused on more early on is content. So I would literally time block at least couple hours per week to create shorts, create long form videos, etc., as well as getting wins from your clients, putting those into spotlights, etc., all that stuff, and then actually starting to post content, because it does help. Right now, we're getting actually quite a lot of people also from just organic and website. So they may see our ad first, but then they go and look us online. They see our website, they sign up from there to or they book a call from there, or they see our stuff on Instagram and they go to our bio and they schedule a call from there. Or what do we do now on our Instagram Reels? We basically use Go High Levels automation to just when someone comments into the post, to DM them a free resource, and that follows up to schedule a call. So we get some from there as well. Also building a Facebook group, all that stuff, and then posting stuff they value, wins, case studies, all that stuff, to being able to build up the organic and kind of getting the branding building up at the same time, right? Then obviously outbound, all that. But if you really need to focus on a couple of things, and quite frankly, you should be focusing on a couple of things, I would hone in on outbound and ads, and then getting into content building up in the meantime, like in the back end as well. Now, once you are running ads and you get a bunch of leads, and you obviously get people as well who did not book a call, you maybe they did book a call, but you didn't close them, or they no-showed, or whatever the case may be, you should be doing some type of database reactivation as well to squeeze the juice out of the opportunities. So you can do just a simple re-offers, all that good stuff. And I'll probably do a video later on as well when it comes to database reactivation, how to do all that stuff and different offers, whatnot. But super simple, just a text blast to your leads in your database to re-offer, or just to ask if they are still looking to get XYZ, whatever the offer was. And from there, getting bookings as well. Now, when it comes to affiliates and referrals, again, something I wish I would have focused on more early on. Obviously, if you don't have any clients, or if you have only a couple of clients, a few clients, then it is tougher to do this. But once you have 30, 40 clients and your churn rate is under 10% on a monthly basis, I would really start to get affiliates and referrals working on. And you can find these so-called power partners, or whatever, strategic partner, to basically someone who is a bigger name in the industry, to start to affiliate your stuff and getting clients from there as well. It is tougher if they don't know who you are. But for example, what we have done lately is we asked our best performing clients. First off, they started to do coaching for us. So now they're also affiliates to us and referring clients to us. And I'm personally networking with some other names in the industry to build up the affiliate network from there. Referrals, super easy way to get more cash through the door. For example, a few months ago, I can't remember exactly when it was, maybe end of the quarter, we did like a referral special deal where we gave like a gift card for our clients that they were able to give to their network. And with that gift card, the person who referred, meaning our clients, was able to create goodwill for their network, and the people who came from that, they obviously got a discount with the gift card, as well as we gave a referral fee for our clients and an extra bonus if they got 2 clients in before end of the month. So we closed 5 clients and over 20K in 1 week just because of that one thing that we did. So if you do stuff like that, you could do it in a campaign, like in a campaign stuff when you do one-off stuff once in a while, or you can build an actual referral program that we now have. Is when clients refer us, they get X amounts and they can build it up, and eventually their whole stuff is free and they get, you know, cash from us. So it pretty much becomes an monthly recurring stuff for our clients, which is pretty cool and helps you obviously get more clients in. The cool thing with referrals is obviously they will close faster, and they will normally also stay longer, just because the trust is there, all that stuff. Plus the fact that if your client referred someone to you, and if they're getting paid on a monthly basis, there's an incentive for your client to make sure that the other client is also happy and stays with you. So they will also help you basically keep them happy and support them through whatever the thing is that the other client is going through. So it will build up the community in a different way, and the relationships with your clients, which is pretty cool. Cool, awesome. When it comes to sales, not going to dive into too much into that. There's a bunch of sales coaches and all that stuff in there, like out there, that know much more about sales than I do. But there is obviously multiple different things that goes into that. One person that I can recommend, our VP of sales, Aaron Brewer, Sales Fight Club, super amazing dude. Really knows what he's talking about, and one of the best hires I've ever made. And to basically get him on board with Mescula and now partner up with him when it comes to, you know, Mescula. So there's obviously multiple different things. You need to sales call, all that stuff, whatever. But there's also confirmations, no-shows, objections, follow-ups, re-offers, referrals, etc. All that stuff on how you go about the sales. I may be going over and showing you guys in a later video one of our sales calls, potentially. But for now, when it comes to sales specifically, go check out Aaron Brewer and Sales Fight Club. Super amazing stuff out there. Now, when it comes to all that, obviously acquisition being one of the main things, my focus and my knowledge and my strength has always been on the marketing side. And then the sales side hasn't been my strength personally, but I've been able to do that. I get the business to 50K per month pretty much by myself in terms of sales and acquisition. But there is much better dudes out there when it comes to actual closing the deal. So, but marketing helps. When you have a solid marketing and offer, sales gets so much more easier. Now, when it comes to the LTV, as I said earlier, there's three things that I really want to focus on. There's results, relationship, and recognition. When it comes to results, depending on what you do, but if it's an client acquisition agency, obviously you're most likely generating leads, you're getting them appointments, you're helping them to close the deals. So you need to know exactly how to nail down that process, or how they should be going about converting the appointments to close deals, etc. On our end, it's obviously listings, because we work with real estate agents and they want home sellers to sell their properties with them. So that's why it says listings here. But you need a consistent way to get more leads, and predictable way, and you need actual KPIs behind that. Then you need a way to get those into appointments for your clients. You can use AI bookings, ISAs, all that stuff, or you can teach your clients to call the opt-ins and convert them into appointments. That's one way. We do pretty much all of the three, depending on the clients that we work with. And then obviously conversion into closed deals is something that, you know, you need to know how to do, or you need to have someone else that knows how to actually convert the leads that you're generating to actual close deals and money. Relationship, one thing, huge thing. There is multiple things that goes into expectations, accountability, community. So you could start, after you have 20, 30 clients, you could start building up a community for your clients, where they can see each other, they can communicate with each other, they can share wins, valuable content, all that stuff in the community. I wouldn't do it if you have 10 clients, 15 clients, but once you have actually 20, 30, 40 clients, that's what I would start to do. One-on-ones with your clients, super, super crucial, at least in our industry, in our niche, real estate agents, they need the one-on-one support, dude. Like we need to be there to actually support them, keep them accountable, and that's where the accountability comes in the picture on those one-on-one calls as well as group calls. But the one-on-ones really is where we can actually make sure the expectations are managed and we keep them accountable and they keep themselves accountable, as well as that they can actually convert the leads. So we do also like conversion training, role plays, core reviews, and one-on-ones as well. Then what we do, and what I do recommend once you have the community, or once you have 20 clients, whatever, is to start having coaching calls. So either yourself, if you know how to convert the leads, do those coaching calls. Maybe you have a CSM who knows how to do those, how to convert those leads, or you get one of your best performing clients to do that for you, to coach others, or you get someone in the industry who knows how to convert the leads to coach others. And that is a huge factor to the retention. I can tell you, once we implemented coaching calls, our retention skyrocketed. It's crazy. And then university, you're going to have like how to use the system that you have, how to like add more about the process. And that's also one thing. It's super crucial that your clients understand the process, because that helps you to manage expectations and keep them accountable, as well as when they feel down, you can always refer back to like, hey, you remember this is the process and whatever, right? Like it's so much easier once they actually understand the process that you are getting them through, right? And then, gifts. You could give to your clients, do all that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. When it comes to all that, a huge factor in all of this, when it comes to LTV, is onboarding. How you do your onboarding and how great the first impressions are when it comes to your company, your agency, right? And that I can't stress that enough. It is one of the biggest factors when it comes to LTV. Your onboarding process, how easy it is for them, how seamless and fast it is, and how long it takes for them to get their first win. The first win doesn't need to be closed deal or not even an appointment, but it could be getting a lead, it could be getting ads launched, it could be whatever, but you need to keep them informed and proactively communicate to them in terms of what you're doing, what happened, etc., all that stuff, and creating those small wins, because small wins lead to bigger wins, and that way, they will love you, basically. So, for example, on our industry, we cannot get a closed deal in 7 days. We cannot get cash into them in 7 days, not even a month, right? Because this is the long-term sales cycle. So we have to create smaller wins. We proactively communicate when they come in. We call them right away. We create a win just out of that, them signing up. We communicate to them once we go live, and we communicate to them once first lead comes in. We create that a win. We create a win when they hop on to a first coaching call, first one-on-one launch call. We always find wins, even small wins, because that will help them keep motivated and actually seeing that things are moving forward. They see the progress, which helps them to believe in you and actually trust in the process. And once they trust in the process will be good for them. Right? But that's one big factor. Recognition. What we do is we do agent lottery, and actually, quite transparently, you probably know who's Matt Shields. I got this from him, agent lottery. And we basically get people to post on our community and hashtag agent lottery. And then we, end of quarters, we basically do agent lottery for them, so they can win stuff based off of, we spin the wheel, all that, based off of like how many comments, and we have a leaderboard, all that stuff, and top 3 gets to spin the wheel a few times and win some cool stuff. For example, last quarter, 2 of our clients won a free buyer legion for 6 months for free. Crazy stuff. So you can just imagine how happy they were, right? And you can imagine how much more likely it is for them to stick with the main program just because they want that free stuff. So it's pretty cool. Agent of the month and quarter, we started doing this year pretty much. So we do like a player cards, like a baseball player cards in a way, based off of like their inputs, their appointments, their closings and listings and all that stuff, and who showed the most sisu, which is our company's number one value, pretty much translate into English as grit. There's really no translation, but it's a Finnish term. Basically grit, never giving up, getting after it, all that good stuff. So we do those as well with our clients. All of that helps. Obviously, when we dig deep and go in depth on this, which we will do on this channel, there is much more that goes into it, and there's technicalities, there's all that good stuff, there's strategies, whatnot, that we want to be diving into. The last thing I want to talk about today is team, okay? So when it comes to team, really what you need is you need support people. So you need someone who potentially is doing a bunch of the onboarding stuff, like the manual setting up workflows, automations, the campaigns, all that stuff, whatnot. As well as someone who calls your clients right away when they sign up. That could be, for example, yourself, or it could be a CSM, or a junior CSM, or whatever the case may be. Then you need a CSM, someone who talks with your clients. And at this level, when you have hundreds of clients, when you have 200 clients, whatnot, like you do, I feel like you do need 3 to 4 CSMs and a couple media buyers to manage that amount of clients. Later on down the road, you can promote one of the CSMs being a senior CSM, for example, who pretty much manages other CSMs and trains them on a day-to-day and make sure everything flows the way we want them to flow. For example, our senior CSM right now, she doesn't have own clients anymore, but she manages the other CSMs, helps them on a day-to-day basis, supports them, as well as is in charge of the onboarding, so new clients coming in, right? So everything flows and all the admin stuff, whatnot, like everything just flows. So that's something I do recommend, and and that's the way how we did it. So promoted a CSM who is more like operational. She has like a more operational brain. So that's what we did. Cool. Then you need someone who's jack of all trades, who could help with agreements, you could help with any admin stuff really. When it comes to CSMs, media buyers, sales team, all that stuff, that's what I do recommend having. And then an admin, so someone who does all the admin stuff. Obviously, when it comes to sales team, you need most likely 2 closers, 2 setters, depending on the funnel that you're running, depending on the source that you're getting your leads, etc. You may need more setters, you may need more closers, whatever the case may be, but that's pretty okay setup in terms of getting to 150K per month. You need your recruiting and hiring being constant and always out there. You need all that to work, and you need to actually have process in place. And transparently, this is a one piece that I still lack of, and we still lack of. We do have a process in certain, for example, sales team and CSMs. We have processes, but then when it comes to our media buyer, we still don't have. But I have a senior media buyer who's going to build that process, as well as train the new person that's coming on, because we're just now hiring another media buyer. So we promoted one of the media buyers to senior media buyer. Dude has been with us for close to 3 years now. And he's pretty much building that stuff. And then we're going to have 2 media buyers under him. Onboarding, team onboarding, having that in place, and training, not only when new team members come in, but when they are working with you at your company. You need to have weekly, if not even daily training. People need refreshers, people need reminders, people need someone to keep them accountable. And that's okay. So that's why you need to have those in place and the training there. Obviously, then great things to have a company wiki where people are going to find everything they need to know on a day-to-day basis when it comes to your service, when it comes to your pros, when it comes to different, like, you know, go high level automations, whatnot, all that stuff, like all the SOPs, process, automations, whatnot in one simple place. Systems and process, you gotta build those up. If you haven't started yet and you're like doing 50K per month, I do highly recommend you start actually creating checklist, SOPs, process, because that will help you so much and you don't need to do everything yourself anymore. And when it comes to that, you need to constantly be updating them. It's not that you build them once and you forget. Some systems and processes are, but things change, you know? So you do need to build up there or update the SOPs as well. Culture, huge thing. It starts by hiring the right people, really, and being the person yourself that you want others to, you know, be. That sounds weird, but what I mean by that is, like, if you have company values, which you should, if you're doing whatever, if you really want to scale to 150K, 200K, all that stuff, like, I do believe you need to have company values and culture in place. But if you have company values, when you have company values, you have to be also following those yourself. You have to actually live the values. Because if you live the values, others will see that and they will also respect you more and actually start living those values themselves. I can tell you this from my experience, and our team is phenomenal. And the culture, I believe, is great. There's obviously things that we can be better at and will be better at, need to work on, all that stuff. But like, that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, is the team that I build and the culture that we have together built. It may have started from me, but we together build it up. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is tech guy. That's a huge help if you have someone to do all the tech. I used to do all the tech myself up until like pretty much like 100K per month. Yeah, don't recommend that. Yeah. When it comes to culture, there's obviously multiple different things: vision, mission, core values, different remote activities. We're hosting like an optional team remote event, which is just, we're just gonna have fun together as a team remotely. Our HR assistant is building that up. Showing up for the team, that pretty much what I said earlier. You show up for the team every single day, no matter what you feel like. You show up and you show up to the fullest to your team, for the team, right? Every single day. Not just one day when it feels good, but every single day you have to be showing up for the team. It's not that you hire a person, then they do everything and you can just like lay down. If you actually want to build a business and build a team that drives the business forward, you do need to show up for the team. That's my belief. I may be wrong, but that's my belief. EODs, end of day reports, daily huddles, weekly meetings, monthly meetings, quarterly meetings, weekly accountability reports, OKRs, objectives and key results, as well as KPIs, key performance indicators. Super crucial to keep your team in alignment and always knowing where to focus on. And quite transparently, up until this year, I was struggling on all of these things. I still am at some of these and at certain levels. But I've been focusing on this and I have acknowledged that this is something I need to get better at so that we can actually get to 200, 300, 400, 500K per month. And that's why I'm right now putting most of my focus here. And one of the other things is content that I'm focusing on, as well as obviously training the team. That's few of the things that I'm, as a CEO, focusing on the most right now. But that's pretty much it. There's obviously multiple things that I covered on this video. I didn't go too in depth on some specific one here, but these are the things that I would be focusing on, or that I feel like you need in order to build a 100K per month client acquisition agency in 10 months. By the way, where the 10 months come from, let's say you have two closers and both of them enroll 10 clients per month, and you have a 6K product, and they do 30-day payment plans, 3K and 3K. Both of them close 10. You close 20 clients per month. First month you do that, you take in 60K in new cash. Second month you take in 120K in cash, right? And then while you build that up, after 6 months, you have basically enrolled 120 clients. And if you renew 30% of them to $9.97 a month, 6-month contract, that's pretty much what we do. We do also have a new product that came in, like Done With You, $4.97 a month. But you do that after 10 months. On your 10th month, you basically have 30K monthly recurring revenue plus 120K from sales team coming in. So 150K per month if you just keep your acquisition consistent every single month. That's probably what I would do. Obviously, it's not that easy. It's not that straightforward process because there's so many different things, but I would start with the acquisition, making sure that's nailed down, the offer, all that stuff. Then I would focus really much on the LTV and the product, the service, etc. Starting to hire team members, training those team members, starting to build the team, and SOPs, all that stuff. Giving all the things that you do on a daily basis to the team and starting to continuously train them, building up the team, scaling up the acquisition, and then it's pretty much rinse and repeat. Obviously, now when we go and grow from here, there's multiple different things and stuff that I don't even know yet, but this is what I would focus on when it comes to building 150K per month client acquisition agency in 10 months. For me, as I said earlier, and for us, it took close to 4 years, but we at that level right now, and it just upwards and onwards from here. So hopefully this was helpful and valuable for you. If you have any questions, drop to the comments. I try to reply all of them. And that's pretty much it. Have a great rest of your day and week. See you on the next one.